5 vitamins that can stop acid reflux once and for all. Have you ever felt that chest burning that seems never-ending? That sensation that appears right after meals, keeps you up at night, and turns even moments of rest into true torture? If this sounds familiar, you are far from alone. Acid reflux, also known as GERD, which stands for gastroesophageal reflux disease, affects hundreds of millions of people worldwide and is one of the most common digestive conditions today. What is most striking about this condition is not just the discomfort it causes, but how much it impairs the quality of life of those who suffer from it daily. What is at stake if you keep ignoring reflux? What many people don't know is that there are natural alternatives based on nutrients and bioactive compounds that can help correct the problem at its root, without relying exclusively on medications that, in many cases, end up worsening the situation in the long run. In this video, you will learn about 5 of these alternatives in a clear and accessible way, so you can make more informed decisions about your digestive health. If you have tried everything and still haven't managed to get rid of reflux, perhaps it's because you have never reached the point we are about to address now. But before we get to the solutions, it is essential to understand what is really happening inside your body when reflux appears. Because without understanding the real cause, any treatment becomes just a shot in the dark, the valve that controls everything in your digestive system. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, one of the most acidic liquids in the human body, with a pH between 1 and 3. This acid is essential for breaking down the food you eat, activating digestive enzymes, and protecting the body against harmful microorganisms. Just above the stomach, at the junction with the esophagus, there is a muscular structure called the lower esophageal sphincter, known as the LES. This muscle acts as a one-way valve. It opens when you swallow food and closes completely to prevent acid from rising back into the esophagus and throat. The problem begins when this valve weakens and loses the necessary tone to close properly. When the LES becomes loose, acid travels up the esophagus, causing chest burning, acid regurgitation, a lump in the throat sensation, chronic cough, and difficulty swallowing. If left untreated, chronic reflux can lead to ulcers, scarring of the esophagus, and increase the risk of throat cancer. The surprising truth about your stomach acid. But here comes the part that surprises many people. Studies indicate that reflux is not caused by excess acid, but by insufficient acid. When the stomach's pH rises above 4, becoming less acidic than it should be, the sphincter loses the chemical signal that keeps it closed and begins to relax involuntarily. The problem is not that you have too much acid. It is that your stomach is too low in acid to function properly, and this completely changes the approach to treatment. Understanding this inversion is what separates those who stay trapped in an endless cycle of medications from those who finally manage to solve the problem at its root. And it leads us directly to the most common mistake made by those who suffer from reflux: why antacids may be destroying your digestion. Antacids are among the best-selling medications in Brazil and worldwide. At first glance, they make perfect sense. If acid is causing the problem, neutralize the acid. But as we just understood, reflux occurs precisely because the stomach's pH is too high. By taking an antacid, you raise that pH even further, aggravating the underlying problem. The relief lasts a few hours, but the vicious cycle continues and deepens. Continuous use of proton pump inhibitors, such as omeprazole and pantoprazole, can leave the stomach chronically hypochlorhydric, with insufficient acid to function well. A stomach with elevated pH does not adequately absorb zinc, iron, magnesium, calcium, and vitamin B12. Additionally, a less acidic gastric environment becomes susceptible to infections by harmful bacteria, such as Helicobacter pylori, which in turn worsens reflux even further. It is a vicious cycle that begins with a seemingly harmless tablet. The approach that restores instead of neutralizing. Fortunately, there are natural approaches that work in the opposite way. Instead of neutralizing acid, they restore the ideal pH and strengthen the sphincter. It is worth noting that this content is informative and educational, and does not replace the guidance of a doctor or qualified health professional. With this understanding, let us explore the 5 most powerful natural substances against reflux. And the first of them will surprise you with its straightforward and effective logic. It does not try to suppress acid, does not try to mask symptoms, and does not create dependency. It simply gives your stomach back what it needs to function as it was always designed to function. Betaine, HCl with pepsin, the #1 weapon against reflux. The first and perhaps most powerful natural substance against acid reflux is betaine HCl with pepsin. The concept is simple. It is a compound that provides additional hydrochloric acid to the stomach in a safe and controlled manner, restoring the ideal pH for efficient digestion. When you take betaine HCl before a meal, the pH drops to the healthy range between 1 and 3, sending the correct signal for the lower esophageal sphincter to close firmly and prevent reflux. The pepsin that accompanies the formula is a digestive enzyme that works together with hydrochloric acid to break down proteins in food. Together, they relieve reflux, bloating after meals, heaviness in the stomach, and slow digestion. The dosage generally studied is between 2 and 4 capsules of 1,300 milligrams before main meals, but the ideal is to start with 1 capsule and gradually increase over a few days, observing how the body responds. How to use betaine HCl safely and effectively. It is important to note that betaine HCl is not recommended for people with active ulcers or severe esophagitis, as the increase in acid can irritate damaged tissues. Therefore, guidance from a health professional is indispensable before starting any supplementation. With consistent use over a few weeks, the stomach may gradually recover its ability to produce acid adequately on its own, and many people report a significant reduction in symptoms of reflux, bloating, and indigestion. It is worth reinforcing that the safest protocol is to start slowly, 1 capsule per meal during the first 2 or 3 days, assessing the effect before increasing the dose. If you feel excessive warmth or stomach discomfort when using betaine HCl, this may be a sign that the stomach already has enough acid, and that supplementation is not necessary at that moment. This feedback mechanism from the body itself is one of the most intelligent tools available for calibrating the correct dose. But number 2 on our list is the oldest solution of all, and you probably already have it at home right now. Ginger, the millennial root that science confirms. Ginger has been used for more than 2,000 years in traditional medicine to treat digestive problems, and modern science has confirmed what our ancestors already knew. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols, phenolic substances with powerful anti-inflammatory properties and protective effects on the gastrointestinal mucosa. When you consume ginger, these compounds act directly on the tissues of the esophagus and stomach, reducing inflammation caused by acid and promoting regeneration of the protective mucosa. In addition, ginger helps regulate gastric motility, that is, the movement of stomach contents. This means the stomach empties more efficiently, reducing intra-abdominal pressure that can force acid back into the esophagus. Studies also show that ginger reduces nausea, which frequently accompanies reflux. For immediate relief, chew a small piece of fresh root when you feel the burning begin. For preventive use, ginger powder capsules of 1 to 2 grams after meals are a practical option. How to include ginger in your daily routine? What few people know is that ginger also has a calming effect on the vagus nerve, the main nerve of the parasympathetic system, and the one that controls digestive function. By positively stimulating this nerve, ginger favors the closing of the sphincter and the adequate production of digestive juices. A delicious and practical way to incorporate ginger into daily life is to peel it, grate it finely, and mix it into salads, stir-fries, or fresh juices with carrot and lemon. You can also prepare unsweetened ginger tea by steeping freshly sliced pieces in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes before drinking, especially after dinner. The key is consistency. The benefits of ginger on the digestive mucosa are cumulative and appear with greater intensity when consumption is regular. And the next compound has an even more surprising connection with the nervous system, revealing that the secret of reflux may be in a place you never imagined. Probiotics, the invisible army that protects your esophagus. When talking about reflux, most people think of the stomach and the esophagus. Few associate reflux with the large intestine. But there is a powerful connection between the health of the intestinal microbiota and the function of the sphincter that changes everything. The human intestine houses trillions of microorganisms that produce neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, the main chemical messenger of the parasympathetic nervous system. It is precisely this acetylcholine that controls the opening and closing of the lower esophageal sphincter. When the microbiota is balanced, the body produces enough acetylcholine to keep the sphincter functioning properly. When the microbiome is imbalanced, a state that specialists call dysbiosis, this production drops, the sphincter loses tone, and reflux becomes recurrent. This explains why so many people develop reflux after a course of antibiotics. They indiscriminately destroy beneficial bacteria in the intestine, throwing the entire system off balance. The best probiotic foods and supplements for reflux. To restore the microbiome, diet is the most efficient path. Fermented foods such as sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, whole natural yogurt, and pickles are incredibly rich sources of natural probiotics. Include at least one of these foods in your daily routine. It is also possible to use high-quality liquid probiotic supplements, which reach the intestine more quickly and with a higher concentration of beneficial bacterial strains. When choosing a probiotic supplement, prefer formulas with multiple strains and at least 10 billion colony-forming units per dose. Strains of the Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium genera are the most studied for digestive problems such as reflux and gastritis. Avoid probiotics that contain artificial sweeteners, as these compounds can paradoxically harm the microbiome you are trying to restore. The intestine is literally called the second brain by scientists, and the next item on the list is the popular remedy that finally makes complete scientific sense. Apple cider vinegar, the remedy that works in reverse. Organic apple cider vinegar is probably the most cited natural remedy for treating reflux. For many, it seems counterintuitive. If reflux is caused by acid, why would taking more acid help? The answer lies in what we have learned. Reflux is not caused by excess acid, but by an incorrect pH in the stomach. Apple cider vinegar works by reacidifying the stomach back to the ideal range, sending the sphincter the chemical signal it needs to close firmly. The most relevant active principle is acetic acid, classified as a short-chain fatty acid. In addition to correcting gastric pH, this compound nourishes colon cells, supporting the health of the entire digestive tract and improving the absorption of vitamins and minerals. The simplest way to use it is to dilute 1 tablespoon of the organic, raw, unfiltered product in a large glass of water and drink it before each main meal, preferably through a straw to protect tooth enamel. How to choose the right apple cider vinegar and when to avoid it. For those with a very inflamed esophagus or confirmed esophagitis, the liquid form may be too irritating. In these cases, apple cider vinegar capsules before meals offer the same benefits with less direct contact with sensitive tissues. An important tip: not all apple cider vinegars are the same. The ideal product should be organic, raw, unfiltered, and contain what is called the mother of vinegar, the whitish filaments visible at the bottom of the bottle that concentrate enzymes, proteins, and beneficial bacteria. Filtered and pasteurized vinegars lose much of these properties and are far less effective for digestive purposes. Instead of neutralizing acid and creating dependency, apple cider vinegar restores it. Instead of masking the symptom, it points to the cause. And the fifth and final nutrient on our list goes even deeper, physically repairing the tissues damaged by chronic reflux. Zinc L-carnosine, the Japanese compound that repairs from within. Zinc is an essential mineral that the body uses for dozens of vital functions, especially in the regeneration of the epithelial cells lining the entire digestive tract. When reflux acid damages the esophagus or stomach, zinc is one of the main repair agents the body mobilizes to heal these tissues. But what elevates zinc to a completely different level is a formulation developed in Japan called zinc L-carnosine. This compound combines zinc with a dipeptide called carnosine, creating a molecule that remains in the digestive tract for much longer than zinc alone. Used for more than 30 years in Japan to treat stomach ulcers, zinc L-carnosine binds to the damaged walls of the stomach and esophagus, forming a protective film that promotes regeneration of the internal lining. It also stimulates the production of healthy gastric mucus, the natural protective layer that prevents stomach acid from corroding the digestive walls. Dosage, food sources, and precautions with zinc. Another little-known benefit is zinc's ability to inhibit the growth of Helicobacter pylori, a bacterium that colonizes the stomachs of millions of people and is known to worsen reflux and cause gastritis. The dosage generally studied is 75 milligrams per day. In addition to supplementation, obtain zinc from food sources such as shellfish, grass-fed red meats, and pumpkin seeds. The recommended daily intake of zinc is 11 milligrams for men and 8 milligrams for adult women. But in the therapeutic context of reflux, the zinc L-carnosine formulation provides higher concentrations to ensure the restorative effect on tissues. It is worth noting that zinc competes with copper for intestinal absorption. So when using zinc at high doses for extended periods, it may be advisable to include a small amount of copper in the supplementation to maintain balance. As always, the guidance of a health professional is essential to individualize the use of these compounds. With these 5 nutrients working together, healing from reflux becomes a concrete reality. But to eliminate the problem once and for all, we need to understand the root causes that are being completely overlooked. The 6 root causes of reflux that nobody tells you about. The first and most common root cause is chloride and potassium deficiency. The stomach's hydrochloric acid needs chloride, which comes mainly from quality natural salt, and potassium, which activates the cells responsible for producing gastric acid. Diets low in these minerals directly compromise the stomach's ability to maintain its ideal pH. The second cause is chronic stress, which activates the sympathetic nervous system and automatically shuts down the parasympathetic system responsible for digestion, leaving the sphincter loose and reducing the production of digestive juices. The third cause is continuous use of antacids themselves. The fourth is infection by Helicobacter pylori, a bacterium that reduces gastric acid as a survival strategy, creating conditions for reflux and other serious digestive problems. It is estimated that more than half of the world's population carries this bacterium, often without knowing it, and diagnosis is made through simple tests such as the breath test or endoscopy. If you have chronic reflux that doesn't improve with any approach, investigating the presence of Helicobacter pylori with a doctor may be the missing step. Grains, oils, and medications that feed reflux. The fifth cause is refined grains and industrialized vegetable oils. Gluten irritates the gastric mucosa in most people, even without celiac disease, while soybean, canola, and sunflower oils have inflammatory properties that impair the integrity of the entire digestive mucosa. The sixth cause is prolonged use of antibiotics and anti-inflammatory drugs, which destroy the microbiome and damage the protective mucus layer of the intestine and stomach. Knowing these 6 causes allows you to build a complete and definitive action plan. Each of them can be addressed in a practical and gradual way, without having to transform your entire life overnight. And that is exactly the plan we are going to build now, bringing together everything you have learned into a direct and applicable guide. How to stop reflux permanently, step by step. The first step is the most counterintuitive. Stop taking antacids and replace them with betaine HCl or apple cider vinegar before meals. These 2 compounds restore the ideal acidic pH, close the sphincter, and improve the absorption of vitamins and minerals. If you use prescribed proton pump inhibitors, do not discontinue them without professional guidance, but talk to your doctor about natural options and a possible gradual and safe tapering. The second step is to add raw shredded cabbage to your daily diet, whether green, purple, or sauerkraut. Cabbage is rich in glutamine, chlorophyll, and vitamin C, compounds that help heal the lining of the esophagus and stomach. The third step is to eliminate refined grains and industrialized vegetable oils, replacing white bread, pasta, and fried foods with free-range eggs, wild fish, grass-fed meats, extra virgin olive oil, and steamed vegetables. The fourth step is to use pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt in meals, combining it with potassium-rich foods such as avocado, leafy greens, and pumpkin. Stress, sleep, and the habits that complete your recovery. The fifth step is to start the day with a glass of sparkling mineral water, whose mild natural acidity helps restore the stomach's pH in the morning. Reduce coffee and black tea while recovering, as these drinks relax the sphincter and can destabilize gastric pH, even when consumed in moderate amounts. The sixth step is to actively manage stress. At least 45 minutes of walking in nature per day activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces cortisol, and creates favorable conditions for the sphincter to start working correctly again. Also, chew your food well. Prefer smaller and more frequent meals throughout the day, and avoid lying down before 2 to 3 hours after the last meal. Gravity is a powerful ally in preventing reflux, and lying down right after eating completely removes this natural protection. If you need to sleep while still digesting, raising the head of the bed by 15 to 20 centimeters can make a significant difference. These simple adjustments, combined with the 5 nutrients you have learned, attack reflux on all possible fronts. What you have learned and why it changes everything. We have reached the end of this journey, but the beginning of a new phase for your digestive health is just starting. You have learned that acid reflux is not a life sentence. It is a condition with identifiable causes that can be corrected with the right choices in diet, supplementation, and lifestyle. You discovered that betaine HCl restores the ideal pH and strengthens the valve that prevents reflux. That ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory with millennia of proven use. That probiotics connect the intestine to the esophagus in ways most people never imagined. That organic apple cider vinegar works precisely because it restores acidity, not because it neutralizes it. And that zinc L-carnosine physically repairs the tissues damaged by chronic reflux. You also understood the 6 root causes of this condition and learned a step-by-step action plan to eliminate the problem once and for all. Each of these causes can be addressed in a practical way, replenishing the right minerals, nourishing the microbiome, choosing anti-inflammatory foods, and creating a routine that favors the parasympathetic nervous system. The combination of all these elements is what transforms the treatment of reflux from a constant battle into a definitive resolution. The future of your digestive system is in your hands. Remember that every body is unique and that the path to recovery may vary from person to person. Some strategies may work more quickly for you than others, and the response time depends on factors such as the intensity of reflux, the history of medication use, the state of the microbiome, and the overall quality of diet. The ideal is always to have the support of a trusted doctor or nutritionist to personalize these approaches to your reality. This content is exclusively educational and informative and does not replace the guidance of a qualified health professional. The power to transform your digestive health is in your hands. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish or inflame. Every supplement choice is an opportunity to correct or ignore the root cause. And every habit change is a concrete step toward a digestive system that works as it was designed to, with efficiency, comfort, and vitality. Your esophagus, your stomach, and your intestines are waiting for these choices. And now, you know exactly how to make them.